Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dion and today, as you can see from the title, we're doing a bop or flop on fall winter 2025 trends. I actually just filmed this video, but unfortunately my mic wasn't on, so it was silent the whole time. If you've never watched one of my bop or flop videos, essentially the criteria that I use is I go on like 5 different websites and the trend has to appear on more than one website for me to count it. Bop is a good thing, flop is a bad thing, neutral is neutral. And the reason why I do this is because I find that often a lot of publications will be like, silk scarves are in for fall winter 2025. Here's all these silk scarf sponsorships that we have. So I want it to appear on more than one publication to know that it's like a genuine trend and not just something that the publication is pushing. So if you like fashion and trend analysis in general, then definitely make sure to subscribe to this channel because I post videos every Thursday. And with that, let's get into it. So the first trend is lace and lingerie. We've seen this a lot for the past couple of years, but it's really come out again this season. Vogue says, quote, carry the look over into fall by pairing these pieces with leather and cashmere for a romantic twist on the everyday. And Harper's Bazaar said the label leading the charge was Saint Laurent, whose sleek and sexy silhouettes were this season, given an update in beautiful punchy hues. And I gotta say, I feel like the past 5 trend prediction videos I've done, or bop or flop for trends, have included sheer lace lingerie, and I'm very over it. Like, it's just not that interesting anymore. The whole point of like lingerie as outerwear or wearing sheer stuff out was for the shock value, the kitsch value, the oh my god, you're wearing underwear as outerwear. But now that it's been a trend for 3 years, it's not interesting, it's not kitsch, you're just wearing underwear. So I'm gonna give it a flop. I'm sorry. I'm just very over it. I'm just very over it. I like the lace peeking out everywhere, but like, we have to be more creative than just wearing lingerie out. I'm just like, at what point do we just move on? So that's gonna be a flop for me. We're starting out strong. The next is chocolate brown, and this I feel strongly in the other way. Marie Claire said, quote, it captures the spring boho trend without being too obvious and always makes me look rich. And Harper's Bazaar said, whether for your date night wardrobe or everyday outerwear, it's the neutral of the season, and most likely many more to come. It might be basic, but I love chocolate brown. I am way more of a brown person than black. I like the way brown looks on me more. I like the softness of brown. I love brown for fall and winter, and especially a chocolate dark brown. So I'm gonna bop this trend, even though brown is such a neutral and it's classic for fall. The more further away we can get from wearing black and more towards brown, the happier I am. So I'm gonna give it a bop. This next one is interesting, and it is faux fur. Harper's Bazaar said, if there was one trend that dominated more than any other on the catwalk for autumn-winter 2025, it was faux fur. Impossible to ignore, almost every major fashion house featured it in their collections in the form of floor-length coats, crop jackets, stoles, handbags, you name it. It was everywhere. And Who What Wear said, in a surprising move, just years after much of the industry banned real fur, one of the most dominant trends across Fashion Month was the resurgence of furry details. And I'm kind of torn on this one because so much of faux fur, most of faux fur in fact, is petroleum. It's just plastic products. And obviously I don't support real fur. There is enough fur on this planet already for products for all of us to have coats and everything. They're sitting in thrift stores, vintage stores, Vestiaire Collective. You can find beautiful real fur pieces, and real fur will keep you very, very warm, whereas faux fur won't. It's just plastic. It's not going to hold up in the elements as well, nor is it going to feel as soft. So I do like the idea that we're getting away from real fur naturally. I don't think we should be making any more or producing any more real fur, but I also don't really agree with producing new virgin plastic petroleum based faux fur. I think there should be probably a happy medium, but asking the fashion industry to like recycle has been an uphill battle. So I don't know. I think I'm going to flop it. I'm just not that into it. I do want a fur coat, and I have a faux fur little stole, but So I guess maybe I'll be a neutral. I don't want to bop it because I don't want the production of real fur or virgin faux fur to come about, but I do like the furry texture for fall and winter. So I guess it'll be a neutral. It's our first neutral. These next two sort of go hand in hand and under the umbrella of preppy fashion. This first one is more collegiate academic prep. Glamour said, quote, many of this season's best collections took inspiration from a different muse, the grad student. Sweater vests, striped shirts, wool slacks, turtleneck sweaters, and leather brogues. Vogue said, scholarly inspired ensembles subvert the prep dressing rulebook. The building blocks of the aesthetic, corduroys, collared shirts, blazers, polos, are styled in a fresh, ultra-layered way for fall. And I do like preppy fashion for fall, the like academic prep. I just think it's a bit obvious. We've done it for the past couple of years or kind of like forever. I feel like it's always a fall trend back to school. So I do like it, but I just think it's a little basic. So I think it might be another neutral just because it's like academia for fall, groundbreaking. This next one though is more country Foxhound Burberry style prep. Less of the Abercrombie double layered polo prep and more of the tartan tweed, that kind of vibe. Vogue said, barn jackets, matte coats, rubber boots, silk scarves, and Fair Isle knits have an enduring presence, more than just clothes meant to look the part. These are pieces to be worn in on foggy mornings in muddy parks and the spotting rain on wind-slicked sidewalks. And Who What Wear said Max Mara, Burberry, Altereza, Hermes, Calvin Klein, and more top brands leaned on the woodsy materials and silhouettes for this season ahead. And if you watched my home decor video, then you'd know that the whole like Ralph Lauren fox hunting Burberry style is very much my inspiration from downstairs in our basement. So I am definitely gonna bop this look. I think it's really beautiful and I think it's a different way to do prep that actually fits in better with the fall winter season than the traditional academic colorful preppiness. This next one is interesting and it is minimalism with a twist. Vogue said, quote, swishy fringe and tassel accents give new meaning to the idea that clothes are meant to move with you. These adornments, notably in cream and black, iterate on the overarching theme of personality dressing for the season, while still appealing to minimalists who have outgrown the simplicity of quiet luxury. And Glamour said the key, as exemplified by brands such as Prada and The Garment, is employing subtle tweaks, oddball layering, smart asymmetry, slightly exaggerated proportions to turn basics into showstoppers. And I've been personally so over the quiet luxury movement that I like that this idea of minimalism includes bold colors, includes interesting silhouettes. So you might just be wearing one garment, one solid color, but it's a bright color, but it's an interesting silhouette. So for that reason, I'm definitely gonna bop it. Sometimes my outfits are very simple, but I'm wearing statement pieces so it looks exciting, and I feel like that plays into this trope. It might not be bright patterns, it might not be like a ton of different colors, but what you are wearing makes an impact. It's like minimalism for maximalists. This next trend is leopard print. Harper's Bazaar said, if one print dominated autumn-winter 2025, it was leopard. It's one of those trends that cycles back every few seasons and never truly goes out of style. But this season, it migrated from dominating just outerwear, as it has for the past few years, to taking over dresses, accessories, knitwear, and skirt suits. And Marie Claire said, zebra prints may have been popular earlier this season, but leopard print is a timeless staple. And this one I'm kind of torn on because I do like maybe a pop of leopard print here and there, like a pop like in a belt or like shoes, but I don't own any leopard print. I always go back and forth on it. I feel like it's been a trend that comes about every few years, and I might flop it, or at least neutral. I don't know. I just don't see myself ever wearing leopard print, and I don't know how I entirely feel about it. So it's like a neutral to maybe a flop. The next trend for fall winter 2025 are slouchy bags. Harper's Bazaar said, we've noticed a move towards squishy bags for a few seasons now, and this trend is set to dominate this winter. And Marie Claire said slouchy bags are everywhere, but don't just take my word for it. Bella Hadid can't stop carrying her Coach Brooklyn bag. And I actually also have a Coach Brooklyn bag, the 28 in maple, and I do love it. And I'm just a sucker for slouchy bags in general. I don't super love super structured leather because I find that it doesn't age as well. The structuredness is treated with so many chemicals that, I don't know, I just don't like the way it ages. Whereas like a smooth leather or a pebbled leather, as it ages and gets beat up and more slouchy and softer and squishier, it just looks more luxurious and more beautiful. So I'm always gonna be team slouchy. So this is gonna be a huge bop for me. I think slouchy bags for fall, the Chloe Paddington, the Mulberry Alexa, the Coach Brooklyn is just, it's so good. This next trend is, I'm calling drapes and capes. Like lots of layering, drapery, cape outerwear, that kind of vibe. Harper's Bazaar said when it came to coats and jackets, there was much to covet this season. And one trend that materialized across the 4 cities were capes or cape-inspired silhouettes. And Vogue said this autumn, build a bohemian-inspired look around key items such as flowing blouses, knits, jackets layered over maxi skirts, and rich embroidered jackets. These billowing silhouettes are grounded by flat footwear, hefty low-slung belts, and layered jewelry, specifically long pendants, a trend we've seen throughout the summer and is confirmed to continue through fall. And I do like the texture that this adds to outfits. It is sort of a fun way to layer for fall, having like dresses over jeans and capes and just like all of these billowing layers rather than something that's very structured and minimalist. So I like that aspect, and I do like capes as outerwear. So this is going to be a little bop. I think it's fun. I think it's a good trend. I'll bop it. And this last one are silk scarves. Mandy Lee, aka Old Loser in Brooklyn, did a trend predictions video, and she mentioned silk scarves as a trend that will bleed from summer into fall.
However, with this summer's obsession with tying like a silk scarf around your waist, it makes sense for that to transition into something more heavier, more fall appropriate. And tying things around your waist is not going to stop at silk scarves or large scale tartan. It's going to be everything, especially in a texture. Speaking of the silk scarf tied around the waist, I think that's really going to transition into the fall's labubu. Probably own a silk scarf of some kind, and I just see it getting worn in a bunch of different unexpected ways. This, of course, works like a dream for social media fashion. You know, I think we've grown a little bored of like 7 different ways to wear your white button down, and this is like a natural progression of that sort of content and also that sort of styling variability.
And Marie Claire says, quote, they even elevate the simplest of summer outfits by adding a splash of color and texture. Tie them around your bag for a DIY-inspired look, pin them in your hair like Gracie Abrams, or loop one through our belt loops. And as you can see from my grandma's scarf in my hair, I am a silk scarf person. I think it adds so much to an outfit, to your hair, to your bag, whatever, just a pop of color. And they're easy to collect and find at thrift stores or heirlooms or thrift shops and everything. So I just think it's a great cheap way to spice up any outfit. So I will definitely bop it. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below which one was your favorite trend and what you're excited to wear for fall and winter. And give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram for even more content. And make sure you subscribe to this channel because I post videos every Friday. I'm changing my upload day to Friday. I just had a change in work schedule and we moved into our new house, so Thursdays are just no longer available to me. So I appreciate you guys adapting to the change, and I will see you guys next Friday. Have a happy day. Bye!